Hey, this is Darlene back from DIY Darlene. I'm coming back at you with another video. Hope everybody's doing well. Just a little, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and let me know if you want to see more of these. There's going to be a cook with me tonight. I'm making some homemade chili right now on the stove. I got some onions caramelizing. I've already cooked the meat. Got to just drain it when it cools off. And I'm going to show you some of the things that we're going to put in the chili. We're going to put some kidney beans. You're going to need some black beans. You're going to need tomato paste and crushed tomatoes and then some spices. Well, I'll be back when I'm ready to assemble everything and I'll show you what I'm putting in. Okay, so the process is I just drained the meat. I'm using beef. So with beef, you want to make sure that you drain all the grease. Because if you don't drain all the grease, it's not going to taste right. So I've already cooked my ground beef. I'm going to throw in my onions that I caramelized. And I did them in a separate thing because you have to brown the meat and you could be doing both at the same time. So you can be getting your onions and your garlic kind of brown. I use jar garlic, but you could use fresh, chop it up, and just till you get it a little bit brown. You don't want anything burnt. You want to caramelize your onions, and then you throw it into the mixture. And then the next thing you're going to do is you're going to start opening up your cans of beans, and you're going to want to drain them too. You're going to want to drain them. Okay, so I just drain them over here. Just drain the liquid. And the best thing really to do is just get a strainer and dump them all in, and then I like to rinse them off. It's not a mandatory step, you don't have to do that, but I just like to rinse them off. So I rinse off my beans. And right here I have red kidney beans. I'm going to use black beans and the light red kidney beans. And you just pour them all into your strainer. And you got to get a spoon, scoop out all the beans. Okay, you do the same thing for the next can. You just scoop it all out. Then all you got to do is just rinse some of them out. You just don't want to put all that stuff from the can, like the thin liquid, to preserve it. So you really don't want that inside the chili. So you want to make sure you rinse it off. Make sure they're very rinsed. Right? And then once you strain them and there's really not too much liquid, I pour it in, because this is really a one-pot meal. So you just pour it in, and then I have to open up my other can. And then that has to be drained and strained too, so you have to rinse them off. All right, so I'm going to finish doing that. I'm going to rinse off my beans, and I'll be back with you to show you the rest to enter in. Okay, so the rest of the ingredients, as you can see, I have my beans mixed in. I use black beans. I use red kidney beans. You really can use any beans you like. You can use white beans, like the white beans. I wouldn't suggest like chickpeas, but any other kind of beans you can throw in. You could mix it. This is beef. You could use turkey. I usually like making mine with turkey, but I'm actually cooking for about 8 adults for this. And my husband's having a football party. And also on the side, you could also make the chili with jasmine rice, because that's what I'm going to make. Also, the best way to serve it is to get cornbread. You can get any kind of cornbread. You can make your own homemade. And I like to serve it with Tostito chips, just because I like to scoop it and eat it that way. So chili is something you can make it any way that you like, that your family would like. I just doubled my recipe because I'm feeding about 8 adults. So I wanted to make sure that I had enough food for everybody. So I guess that's the Italian in me. We like to feed, I'm only having 8 people, but I'm probably trying to feed 12. So I'll have rice, I'll have the chili, the cornbread, and then the chips to scoop everything. So on to what else you have to add on to add the chili. I'm probably going to use this whole can of crushed tomatoes. You can really get any brand you want. This is just the ones that I had in my pantry. So I would just pour the whole can in. And for the tomato paste, I don't really like my chili too tomatoey. So if you really like it tomatoey, you like it. I'm only going to put 1 can of tomato paste. And I'm using just the store brand, what we have where I live. Again, none of these brand names or anything is sponsored in this video. It's just stuff that I've had in my pantry or stuff that I like to use, whatever's on sale. That's what I buy. Okay, so I just put it in. And then what I use is I like black peppercorn grinder. I put that in, and I really don't measure, not 1 teaspoon. I just do it to taste. I do a little garlic powder, even though I already put in some chopped garlic, crushed red pepper, a little salt. I also put paprika. I do chili powder, and then I do some cumin. So that's what I do, and I'm just going to get this spices in here, and we're going to turn it on and get it cooking. So listen to some music while you're watching me do this. I'll be back. And also, you could really make this however you want. If you want it spicy, you could add more paprika. You could actually add hot chili peppers in here. I don't prefer the spice. The spice doesn't like me. But if you want it spicy, you can add, more red hot chili peppers. You can add more of the seasoning. It doesn't like me, so I don't make it hot. So you can get those little green chili peppers. And I just, season it the way I by eye. I don't measure anything when I cook. And usually, my husband usually tells me everything comes out great, even when I don't measure. So I'm just putting in the cumin. And that's really it. This is an easy meal. Again, I doubled my recipe. So you can use 1 pound of whatever kind of meat you want. Turkey meat. You can use ground beef. You can use that chicken and veal mix. Whatever kind of meat you want. Ground meat. Whether it be turkey, beef. Then I throw in the beans of choice. I use crushed tomatoes and a little tomato paste just to get that, tomatoey base in there. And you can really use any beans. I would suggest black beans or red kidney beans are my favorite. Or you can throw in the white Catalina beans. So anything you really want. All right, thank you. This is DIY Darlene signing off. Hi, I'm back. So I've assembled everything. So you see that's my husband in the background. He's saying hi. So I assembled everything, and now, since you've already cooked the meat, everything should be cooked except for the canned beans. Okay, so you're just really cooking it to warm it up and just to get that mix of those spices in there and get the tomato and the tomato paste thick, you know, get that through the meat so that it is good when you're ready to serve. And you could just cook about 15 to 20 minutes and then it's done. I'm just going to put a lid on here and I'm just going to let this cook until it bubbles a little bit and try to clean up my kitchen. And that's really it. Chili is very easy. Again, you can customize this your own way. You want to add squash, you can add squash. You can really add any vegetable that you want to hide. If you have kids and they're a little picky, you can throw spinach in here. You really can customize it any way that you would like. This is just the way that my husband and I like to eat it, so that's how I'm cooking it. I have my beans, my onions, and my garlic, and my tomato paste, and the crushed tomatoes, and then the spices. Alright, so I'll leave a link down on how I make it. I really don't use any measurements for the spices, just a little bit of this and a little bit of that. So thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. Have a great day, and thanks again for watching. Bye!